so much for joining us again in our next episode for consumer protection. Can you introduce yourself again for our residents who may not have seen our other episodes with you?
I'm happy to. Rose Nancy, born in Haiti, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I migrated to this country when I was very young and began my career in constituent services for the federal government, United States Senate. I worked for various U.S. senators. Then I moved along to our county government, where I worked for a former county commissioner. And now I am happy to continue my public service with Orange County Neighborhood Services.
What should a consumer do before filing a complaint?
Oh, yes. Do your research. I can't tell you how many times that we've encountered consumers who fell victim to a scam because of the lack of research prior to agreeing to an unlicensed contractor renovating their home. Simply utilize Google. Go to Google. There's nothing wrong with that. Or if you don't know, go online and check the business's license number, because they should be registered with the state of Florida as a business. So that's number 2. And number 3, utilize our 311 call center. If you don't have an answer, you need guidance, call 311, and one of our team members in Consumer Protection Office can certainly help you.
How are consumer disputes handled? What does the process look like?
It's very easy, straightforward. We have various options. One can go online and download the form. It's a PDF form. You can download it, handwrite it, email it back to us. Or you can complete the online form where you can type in your information, send it via email to fraudhelp@ocfl.net, and you can simply call us if you would like to meet in person. Visit us at our office. You can call 311 to schedule an appointment to come meet with us one-on-one and do your paperwork in person.
Where can viewers learn more about the process and about consumer protection?
We do a lot of education and outreach in the community, but if you've missed us, you can always go on our website, ocfl.net/consumer protection.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
Yes, a lot of people don't realize that they can actually dial our 311 Orange County 311 app on their phone. So if you don't feel like calling, download the app. You can submit your requests via the app and monitor the progress until the division provides you with a final response.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner, for having me. I really enjoyed our time.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me, Commissioner. My name is Stephen Bulinski. I am the supervisor for the Orange County Consumer Protection Office. Been working in various aspects of consumer protection for the last 15 years. I've worked for the State Bar of California, investigating attorney misconduct. I've worked as a private investigator. I was also a state investigator for the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. I came to Orange County about 8 years ago, where I worked for code compliance. And more recently, in the last year, I came to become the supervisor for the Consumer Protection Office.
What are some of the major responsibilities of the Consumer Protection Office?
There are 3 main functions that we have for the office. One is education and outreach. So we like to get the message out about what consumers can do to best protect themselves. Ideally, they're going to be able to prevent themselves from becoming victims of scams or fraud in the first place. We also will help consumers with like an informal dispute mediation process. Not an official mediation process, but people can file complaints with our office if they've had a complaint with a business or any issues that they have. We will forward that complaint onto the business. Hopefully we can facilitate communication between the consumer and the business, where both parties can reach some sort of agreement or resolution that they're both happy with. And then last, we do enforce 2 county ordinances. One is Chapter 35, which deals with trespass towing and vehicle immobilization or booting. And the other is Chapter 9, which deals with unlicensed contracting and the prohibitions against unlicensed contracting in Orange County.
So some of the services that you provide sounds like the Better Business Bureau and some of the services they provide, trying to mediate between the business and the consumer, or is this different?
There is some overlap. Yes, we do have a process where people can file a complaint similar to what they would do with the Better Business Bureau. But we also do educate individuals. So we try to get out in the community a lot. And we especially love to reach out to segments of the population that are targets of scams and fraud. So we like to reach out to senior groups and other populations that we feel could really help from us getting the message out and teaching them about ways that we know that they can best protect themselves. So, and then, like I said before, we do have some enforcement authority. So there are other, avenues that people can take in terms of, filing complaints.
If they don't have a situation where that could be mediated because it's a fraud or a scam, what happens then?
If it's something that's regulated by another agency, we might take that case and then refer it to the appropriate agency. We tend to do that more with business activities where licensing is required. So, for example, if something involves maybe a physician, then it might be referred to the Department of Health. Similarly, with like car dealers, auto sales, their license is through the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. So we might refer a complaint to them.
What are some of the red flags that residents should be looking for?
Typically, scammers try to get you to act by causing some sort of strong emotion in you. So they might tell you things like someone's hurt, they're in trouble, and they need your help immediately. They might try to cause you to get excited about something. So they might tell you that you've won some huge prize and you need to communicate with them about that and give them information in order to accept the prize. They might also try to get you to feel some sort of fear, make you think that there might be some legal consequences if you don't act on this. So anything that is trying to cause you to act quick because there's some sort of strong emotion with it, you should really stop and think twice about that.
Is there any situation where a person would need to act immediately, where they're on the phone and they're using one of these, fear or excitement or whatever it is in order to get them to act now and do something now? Is there anything that really requires that, or is it safe to say that someone can always be like, I'll call you tomorrow. Let me think about this and look into this some more.
Right. Well, I think the immediate action you should do is just hang up the phone. If you're not sure who it is that you're speaking with, just end the call immediately. And then when that happens, you can always go back and check online later on to see who was that was calling you, verify that phone number independently. If you are concerned, you can always contact our office and we'd be happy to speak with you about the situation and let you know.
There's a lot of information out there now about us, about people. Someone could call me, they could know my address, my name, my birthday, who knows, maybe a couple of numbers from my social security number. If they call me and they have all this information, what should I be asking them? Like, who are you? What's the name of your company and all this, so that I can be able to look them up later? What information should you be looking for?
Well, I mean, a lot of information is public information. So like name and address, if they have that information, that's normally pretty easily accessible. If they have any information that you might consider confidential information, so like driver's license numbers, social security numbers, then that information you should definitely be concerned about right away. And again, don't ever hesitate to end the call and then contact whoever it is, the company, with the phone number that you've independently verified. So for example, if someone calls claiming to be from your bank, what you might do is end that call. You always have a good phone number for the bank, right? Because it's on the back of your check card or your debit card. Call that phone number, and that's a good way to independently do it. And then you can ask them, did you call me? And they'll let you know if that was them or if it was someone else.
Okay, great. Anything else people should be looking out for?
Some of the red flags that we typically, tell people about, if you see someone asking for money and they're very specific about how you should make payment, generally, if a company is a legitimate company, they're going to let you pay a number of different ways. You can pay by cash, you can pay by credit card, you can pay by check, other ways. But if they're very specific about that, telling you that you only need to pay in gift cards or Bitcoin or something like that, I think that should be a red flag right there. So typically, legitimate businesses will be very open, and they'll make sure that they can work with you in a way that best suits you.
What steps can residents take in order to protect their information and be proactive about keeping themselves safe from fraud and scams?
Sure. Well, when it comes to protecting your information, I mean, one thing you can do, you can always request a free credit report. You can do that from the 3 Credit Bureau. Get that information and look to see, who's been accessing your information. Has anyone applied for any sources of funding in your name? That's one thing that you can do, and you can request a free one from each agency per year. Other things that you can do that are always safe, things to do before you make any large purchases or spend any money on any individual business. Just make sure that that individual is licensed. So make sure you find out what agency provides their license and then contact them. A lot of times also you can speak with that licensing agency and find out if there's been any complaints or if there's been a history of discipline for that person. Similarly, If they're doing any work on your property, you might also want to find out if they have workers' compensation insurance. And that's one thing that a lot of people fail to do. But it's really important, because what happens if one of their workers falls and gets hurt on your property, then you as the homeowner might be responsible for that person's injuries. So if you make sure that they have workers' comp insurance to cover their employees, then typically you're covered as well.
Okay. How do you check for that?
For workers' compensation coverage, you can contact the Department of Financial Services Division of Workers' Compensation. You can either give them a call or go to their website.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, if you ever have any issues, just don't hesitate to call us. Our phone number is 407-836-3111, and just ask to speak with the Consumer Protection Office. Also, if you'd ever like us to come out to one of your events, we'd be happy to provide a speaker for your event, and we do that for free. So just give us a call and request us to come on out.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.